Hey everybody, it's Keagan here. I'm back with another video for you guys, and welcome to the first of two videos that are going to be uploaded today. Which, yes, as you probably guessed, I have another video that's going to be coming out later on today. But here's the first video of the day. Anyways, welcome to another edition of Keagan's Movie Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about three films this time. Three random films that I've watched as of recently, in no particular order. So yeah, let's not waste any more time, and let's talk about them. Believe it or not, this first film we're talking about today is actually a documentary film. I've never actually talked about a documentary on this series before, so this is something a little different. And that film is the 2022 documentary film Lynch Oz, which was directed by Alexandre Phillippe. And this film was filmed in 2022, but it didn't get released until May 11th, 2023. And this documentary centers around David Lynch and The Wizard of Oz, because it's been said that a lot of his films were heavily influenced by The Wizard of Oz. And well, I wouldn't agree that every single film was inspired by The Wizard of Oz, like 100%, but they were heavily inspired by it in some form or another. I'd say most notably his film Wild at Heart is heavily inspired by The Wizard of Oz because it was referenced several times in that movie. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. But this documentary is just a series, it centers around 6 essays relating to David Lynch and The Wizard of Oz and cinema that was inspired by The Wizard of Oz. One of the 6 essays from the film was by John Waters, and that one was probably my favorite. That one was funny, and it's a pretty interesting documentary. I would recommend it if you like David Lynch's films and his other work, like his art and all that other stuff, especially if you're a fan of The Wizard of Oz. It's not only about David Lynch and The Wizard of Oz, but also cinema that was inspired by The Wizard of Oz too. But it's a pretty good documentary. The editing is pretty good, and I do like all the essays that were in the film. David Lynch wasn't really involved with it, I don't believe. It just only shows footage of him, but I don't believe he was really involved with this documentary. But I don't really have too much to say about this documentary other than I thought it was a pretty good documentary, and I do recommend it if you like David Lynch's films. Although, if you're looking for a better David Lynch documentary, I would highly recommend you check out David Lynch, The Art Life. That was from, I believe it was 2016, I believe. Or 18 or something. I think that's a better documentary than this one. But I do recommend The Art Life if you haven't seen that one. That's a great documentary too. But I don't have anything else to add to Lynch Oz, so I'm just giving this film an 8 out of 10. The next film we're going to be talking about in this video is the 1996 Bernardo Bertolucci film Stealing Beauty, which was written by Susan Minot and Bernardo Bertolucci and was also directed by Bernardo Bertolucci, and this film was originally released on June 14th, 1996. Now, this isn't the first film from Bernardo Bertolucci that I've talked about on this channel. I've talked about another film that he directed called The Dreamers, which I talked about on this channel 3 years ago. And I don't mean to get off topic, but believe it or not, my review of The Dreamers is one of the highest viewed videos that I've ever done on this channel. It's actually the 4th most viewed video on my channel with a total of 7.1k views as of this video. And no other movie review that I've done on this channel has that many views. I don't know how it's got that many views, but I guess it just did. Anyways, I'm getting a little bit off course here, but anyways. Bernardo Bertolucci also directed other films like Last Tango in Paris and The Last Emperor and a couple of other films. And Stealing Beauty is the second film from this director that I've seen so far. I got the film on DVD on my birthday last week, and I watched it on Thursday night. And we'll get into my thoughts about that in a little bit, but let's talk about the story of the film. So, Stealing Beauty follows a young woman named Lucy, who is played by Liv Tyler, who you might know from the Lord of the Rings movies. So, Lucy is an American who is 19 years old, who goes to a villa somewhere in Italy after her mother's suicide to write poetry like her mother meet up with the friends her and her mother knew but haven't seen in over 4 years before her mother's death, and to find the mystery of who her father really is, because she believes that she was conceived at the villa and wants to find out who the father really is. And the people, like the friends at the villa, become fascinated with Lucy's virginity for some reason. So along the way, Lucy's also trying to find love in Italy too. And without giving away too much, that's basically the story of the film in a nutshell. Now, I really like the aesthetics for this film. I think it fits perfectly with the film. And this is a good one, I'd say, to watch around the summertime, I'd say. The visuals are pretty good. The acting is pretty good for the most part, but I think the best acting in this film comes from Liv Tyler and Jeremy Irons. They were both really good in this one. I like the music in the film, and I really, really like the soundtrack. I thought the soundtrack was pretty great. However, the story and the writing for the film isn't all that great. It leaves a couple plot holes. Like, it doesn't explain why Lucy's mother kills herself, like, at the beginning of the film. Like, it's never mentioned in the film. Like, it's never explained, what I mean. And a lot of the male characters are written in such a creepy way. It's like, what in the hell? They're just so creepy. Especially later in the film when a lot of the characters become obsessed with the fact that the lead character is a virgin. It's just like, what the fuck, man? It's just weird. But aside from that, I thought Stealing Beauty was an okay movie. It wasn't a terrible movie. There were some things I liked about it, like I mentioned before. But the writing and the story isn't all that great. It's pretty weak, and it's got some plot holes in it. But it's not a bad movie. I'd say it's a good one to watch around the summertime, I'd say. But it's not a bad movie. I guess I'd watch it again one day, but probably not anytime soon. I think there's thunder. Oh well. But it's not a bad movie. There were some things I liked about it. It's just I find the story and the writing and how some of the male characters are written all that are not all that great. I find a lot of the male characters in this movie are kind of creepy. It's like, what the hell? But again, it's not a bad film. I guess I'd watch it again, but probably not anytime soon. But if you like films from Bernardo Bertolucci, and I guess I'd recommend it. But it's an alright movie, I guess. But I don't have anything else to add, so I'm giving Stealing Beauty a 6.7 out of 10. A fair rating, I'd say. And the last film for this video is the 1997 Gary Oldman directed film Nil By Mouth, which was written and directed by Gary Oldman and was released in the UK on October 10th, 1997. And yep, this movie was directed by that Gary Oldman. The Gary Oldman who acted in films like Darkest Hour, True Romance. He played Commissioner Gordon in Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy. Well, the Dark Knight trilogy is actually what it's called. He was also in Hannibal, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and a lot of other films. And as of this video, this is the only film he has directed. He has not directed any other film since then. And this film is known for being one of the most profane movies ever made, with the word fuck used around 428 times, I think. So it's got more F-bombs than Casino, and is right behind Summer of Sam on the list of films with the most F-bombs dropped. And this is a film I've been wanting to check out for a long time. I got the film on DVD and I watched it on Thursday, almost 2 weeks ago. And let's talk about it. Now, without giving away too much of the story, Nil By Mouth centers around a very, very dysfunctional upper-class family living in London as the family struggles with alcoholism, domestic violence, drug addiction, and it's just all around a really messed up family. And the family is starting to fall apart after one of the members of the family beats his wife so badly. The wife gets taken away to another member of the family, like another household of the family. And another member of the family, his life is really starting to fall apart after he gets really addicted into heroin. He starts resorting to crime, like starts stealing stuff to sell to get more drugs, because that's basically what you do when you're addicted to drugs. And that's without giving away too much. The family is just trying to stay together, like try to keep they try to get their stuff together, but they're struggling to stay apart because with all the domestic violence and stuff that's happening in the family, like they're just really falling apart. So that's the story of the film in a nutshell. And interestingly enough, the storyline of the film was actually heavily inspired by Gary Oldman's childhood, supposedly, which is interesting but sad too. Now, I just want to say for the record, this movie is not an easy film to watch. This is a very dark film with very serious subject matters, as I mentioned when I started talking about the film. Um, just don't expect this to be a happy film. It's a very sad film. It's a very dark film, and it's a really well done film. Like the acting is really, really well done, and like it has some pretty good cinematography. The music that was done by Eric Clapton was really, really well done, and the domestic violence in the scenes are fucking brutal. Like they're so realistic. Like I said, this is not an easy film to watch, and the domestic violence scenes are fucking brutal. Especially the one scene where one of the main characters beats his wife so bad in a fit of rage. That scene was just like holy shit. It was like it was almost like they were really hurting the lady. It was like god damn. But yeah, let me tell you, this is not an easy film to watch, but it's a really, really, really well done film. I do highly recommend it. It's not an easy film to watch, of course, given the film's subject matter, but it's one I do highly recommend. And I don't think I'm ever going to watch this film again, given the film's subject matter, but it's a film that I will never forget. And it's a hard to find. This movie's kind of hard to find because the DVD is out of print and the Blu-ray is not available in North America. Like, there's no Region 1 Blu-rays as far as I'm aware of as of this video. But if you haven't seen Nil By Mouth, I would highly recommend it. But be warned, it's not an easy film to watch. And if any of the subjects in this film hits close home to you, then I probably would avoid it. But nonetheless, it is a really well done film. And I think Gary Oldman did a great job making it, and all the people involved all did a great job with it, and all the performances in this film were excellent. And I'm kind of surprised Gary Oldman never directed another movie after this one. I thought he did a good job directing it. I wonder why he never went back to directing after this one. But I don't really have too much else to add. So I do recommend Nil By Mouth if you haven't seen it. I'm probably not going to watch it again, like I said before, and I'm okay with it. But other than that, it's a really good film. And I'm giving Nil By Mouth an 8.5 out of 10. So there you go, that's going to be it for this video, and before I end this video, like I said at the start of this video, I have another video coming up later on today, so stay tuned for that video. But anyways, that's all I have to say for this video. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, as always, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment below, subscribe for more videos like this, and turn on notifications. Share the video with your friends, and follow me on my other social medias. The links are in the description down below. And if you've seen any of these films, what do you think about them? Let me know in the comment section below. And yeah guys, so that's all I gotta say. So until next time, this is Keagan Shepherd signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys all have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah, peace out. Bye bye.